So I'm just going to start this off with a disclaimer. I made a horrible mistake, and I'm going to walk through this mistake so that not only do I never do this again, but also I'm going to use this as a learning experience. So first, I had changed the time of the meeting from 8:15 to 9, which I didn't think, and that was the issue. I didn't believe that that would be a big change. However, there were people that were looking forward to this happening at 8:15. So, that was my mistake. The second mistake that I made is when I went into OBS, I had it already set on a screen capture, but the screen capture, well, the screen capture didn't have the audio attached to it. And I just didn't notice. I think I was frazzled. And so I just started the recording. And I think I was frazzled mostly because I had this set in the Discord soundstage channel originally, but that didn't work. Like, it was just not working at all. Rika nor Ceci could hear me. There was weird music playing. I don't even know where the weird music come from, but it just wasn't working. So I moved us all to a VC to get started. And when I did that, I didn't see that the sound was working. Fine. We started the workshop, and then my mic freaked out. I don't know why. A lot of sound issues, rife with sound issues. So I'm going to try this again, keeping everyone's schedules in mind. And I want to very much apologize for this. This is only going to be my voiceover here. I hope that you find this helpful, but if you don't, that's okay as well. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and get started. So everyone on the team should have access to the Canva. And if you don't, please let me know. I'll get you access to it right away. But what a lot of people don't know is that you can actually go onto Canva and click on Media Kit, or you can actually search Media Kit and you can choose one. In this instance, I chose the one furthest to the left, and I wanted to go in and zoom in so that you could see that I was making changes. So in some instances, you can make the change to reflect your name. So I went ahead and I typed in Emmy Venner because that is the name that I'm known by in the gaming scene and from a company perspective. And then I usually would change the information at the bottom to reflect that I'm a content creator. I feel that content creator is an umbrella term that one can use, especially if you have variety type of content. If you do beauty, if you do games, if you do vlogs, if you do cosplay, I feel like that's a really good umbrella term. However, you can do a different, more focused terminology such as streamer if you wanted to. And in my About Me section, you're just wanting to put general overall information about yourself. In regards to your name, if you don't want to put your first and last name, but you would rather put your online presence, you can go ahead and do that. So in the instance for myself, my gamer tag is Demon Angel Clone, and that is what I would put in that section if I didn't want to put my first and last name. In regards to putting out a media kit, sometimes people put media kits on their Twitter or on their LinkedIn. And so you want to put the name that you feel most comfortable going by online that you would want a lot of people to see. Um, Media kits can be kept exclusive to companies, but it would be better if you were to have it visible for others to also take a look at it as well. So in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and leave it under Demon Angel Clone. I also went ahead and I selected a photo of myself that I uploaded to Canva previously. And now I'm going to go ahead and update the About Me section. Again, your About Me section should be focused on who you are as a creator or as a brand. So for myself, I am a founder for the Athena Alliance, and I'm also the current executive director. So that's what I would put for myself. For yourself, you should focus on whatever roles that you may have. So for example, Rika is the project coordinator. Imani is public relations. So you want to go ahead and cater this information to yourself. If you have any distinctions, this is where you're going to pop off with your distinctions and let brands know that, if you do anything with an organization or even as a brand, this is where you're going to put that information. So that's what I wanted to go ahead and focus on in this one. Particularly, I would say that I'm a founder and executive director. And I'm also going to go ahead and say that I'm a content creator as well, and that I use YouTube as well as Twitch. I'm also a Women in Games ambassador, and I have a focus on safe communities. That is really important to me. So I'm going to make sure to put that in my About Me section. Next, I'm going to go ahead and focus on my particular analytics. Again, I personally am not a big fan of the demographics. However, there are certain ways that you can do this. So like, for example, if I go on my YouTube account and I can just click on view channel, manage videos. And then if I go to the side on the left, I can pull my analytics from there. And from there, I can go to my audience, and that's where I can see where my analytic breakdown is in terms of unique viewers, my average viewers, if anyone is subscribed to me. Most people who watch my stuff are not subscribed to me, but that is common. In this instance, I'm going to go over to advanced mode on the top right. And right there, that'll pull up all of my subscribers that I've had for the lifetime. And if I go over again to the top right, I can change it from saying the last 28 days to lifetime. If I want to pull my lifetime stats, or more than likely, depending on how consistent you are with your content, you're going to want to pull from the last 28 days. If you don't have anything to pull from that time period, it may be an indication that you need to continue putting more work out there so that it would be able to have analytics for you. But for the sake of the video, I pulled up my lifetime stats so I can see that I have 24% of women that watch my content to 73% of men that watch my content. So that is what I would end up putting on my media kit. For Twitch, you can simply Google Analytics Twitch and pull up Twitch Tracker. There you can pull up your channel. So in this instance, I'm going to pull up Athena Alliance CLT. And you can also do the same thing that you did for YouTube. You can view your lifetime stats, but you can also view your stats for the last 28 days. Again, for making a media kit, I would focus on the last 28 days. But if you don't have, any numbers or demographics to pull from that, you can always do your lifetime as well. Um, and, you want to make sure that you're pulling out stats that are going to make you look the most favorable. So they have many charts. I would say for some of these, you're going to want to pull out your CCV, which is your concurrent viewers. That means that's the amount of viewers that consistently stay on your channel. You're also going to want to pull up your followers, and you're going to want to pull up your average viewers as well. And you also want to make sure that you're being active during that time period. As I was saying to Rika earlier in the evening, you're going to want to pull up the last 30 days. But if you don't have any information for the last 30 days, that's fine. You can always go back and pull up your all-time information. So for the instance of this, we're going to pull up your all-time information. One question that came up that was a great question was, what if, you wanted to do a media kit, but you were just getting started? I would say that you want to do your media kit when you're getting started, but you want to update those numbers over time. So, for example, if I just started out and I only have a month of aggregate data, most sites aren't going to keep that number in mind for just a month. So more than likely, you're going to want to start taking in that data and updating it within the first 6 months of doing it consistently. So in this instance, I'm pulling the information that I have received, and I'm going to make the changes onto the sheet. So for Athena, we have 771 followers. So I'm going to make sure that I change that to the followers there. And I'm also going to make sure that I'm changing the reach. The reach would be in regards to engagement. And then you also want to make sure that you capture the current, the concurrent viewers that you would have on your channel as well. So brands care about not really how long you stream, but they care about how many followers you have, the reach that you have, so how many views you're getting. So in this instance, the total number of views being 466,000, that's important because that means people are going back and watching the VODs as well. So even if they're not catching your broadcast as it's happening, the fact that you have people that go back and watch your videos is important to keep track of as well. And it also depends on the platform that you're highlighting. So something on Twitch, concurrent viewers is the one that you would want to capture. So in this instance, our average is 2 right now. But also if you have engagement, you can pull that off of your social media of choice. You can pull that very easily off of Twitter, which is searching analytics Twitter, and then it'll pull up that site as well. You can pull that easily off of Facebook and Instagram. And if you do use LinkedIn, I would utilize the numbers from your posts as well, showing how many accounts you've reached and how many searches you've appeared in for that time period. And LinkedIn is actually pretty good at sending you that information via notifications. So here, I'm going to go ahead and change this to the average number of hours streamed. because that is a higher amount. And I'm also going to change that to total views. Again, they want to know how far your reach extends. So while it's important to put up good numbers on your media kit, it's important that they're reflective of what they're getting when they buy into you. Now, age to me is a little bit tricky because on Twitch, for example, you can only make an account if you're 13 years old. However, it's been noted that there are many people that will make their kids an account even though they're not supposed to. So I don't really take the age demographic to mean as much in this realm, just because if you are getting views from students that are younger than 13, those sites are not going to track that accurately. So in this instance, I would say to just go ahead and remove the age from the media kit. So what I'm doing now is focusing on collaborations that I've done. And in this section, this is where you want to highlight other brands or corporations that you've worked with. You can also highlight your organizational ties as well. So I've worked with HyperX for Athena. We've also done work with Safe Alliance, which is the women's charity in North Carolina. We've worked with Logitech. And then we've also worked with the Black Collegiate Gaming Association, and as well as the Fantasy Network. Another question that Rika had in the evening was asking, if we can put, like, if you're on a stream team or if you have any associations in that way. And what I would say is every team and association is different. There are some that only want their leadership to be able to say that. There are some that don't mind. In regards to Athena, please feel free on your media kit to put that you are either on the stream team or if you are part of the Athena staff. That is more than fine to do so. Again, every team and organization is different, so make sure that in regards to who you put as a collaborator or someone that you've worked with, that you make sure that they are okay with you representing their brand. This is especially important for if you are posting your media kit online, and let's say that there's a brand that, again, they like their leadership highlighted, but they don't like it if a community member says that they are part of their organization. Just be careful. It can be a little bit tricky, but in regards to Athena, definitely put that you are a part of Athena. I'm very honored by that. I do feel that that would be a really good distinction as well. In the instance of previous collaborations, I would end up putting, the fact that we've worked with brands like the Fantasy Network and we're part of their Twitch stream team. And, those are distinctions that are important. If you've been featured in media as well, I would also put that. And in this instance, I'm going to remove the word previous because I want to make it known that these are collaborations that are still ongoing, right? So you do want to make sure that you do say that as well, and that you focus that. Again, your media kit is a moving document, so it's going to change over time. You should be updating it over time as well. So it's not just going to have, one type of thing that you're doing. If you have other distinctions, you want to make sure that you're highlighting those as well, and you're consistently updating it. You can make sure to do that every quarter or every 6 months. I wouldn't surpass a year without updating your media kit, to be honest, unless you decide that you don't want to do content creation. But if I were doing it consistently, it would be every quarter that I would make sure to go back, review my numbers, and make sure that my media kit is accurate. And that I also keep posting it so that when other people go online, they can see that and they're flooded with the fact that you are being consistent with the content that you're putting out. Now up here, it does say services and rates on this media kit. I'm going to go ahead and remove that because I would want that to be reflected on my pay rate sheet instead. So your media kit, again, is just supposed to entice brands, other individuals, organizations to work with you. So you're not really going to focus on having your pay rates on your media kit because that is something that you want to have in a separate document to those that are requesting that information be rendered to them. So in this instance, what you're going to do is look for items that reflect you as a creator. So for example, I play Street Fighter 6. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. I'm also going to go ahead and put on there the other games that I play. This is kind of your area to highlight, you know, who you are as a creator and more than likely the type of content and market that you would be appealing to. That is what brands care about, because if they see that, oh, you play horror games, they're going to align you with those type of products. Or they're going to align you and say, okay, this is something that we want to support. This actually is in alignment with our brand. So this is what we're going to do. I'm also going to go ahead and put the Twitch logo as well because I do stream on Twitch. If you have a certain social media platform that you want to highlight that you are mostly on, this is also the time to do that as well. So that is mostly what you would have to do for your media kit. I would also suggest making some other changes such as the color, just making everything reflect you again as the creator. I'm going to go ahead and go with like a light pink. My background should not be overwhelming to the font and the font colors that I'm using. So everything should be completely legible. And that is kind of the focus of why I would choose a light pastel color if you don't want to go with white. And then finally, there are photos at the bottom. You know, I want to reflect Athena, so I'm going to go ahead and put the Athena discals there. You can put other images there as well. Maybe you're putting images of you in front of your computer setup, or maybe you're putting images of you at certain public events. Those are kind of the images that I would focus on at the bottom. But in this instance, I just went ahead and I put the little Athena goddesses. And finally, at the bottom, you're going to want to go ahead and make the change to add your email. It's important that you leave your can be reached information. So I'm in this instance putting info@athenaalliancect.com. You can also put your phone number, but I also want to make it clear from before that I advised that when posting your media kit, you want to post it on social media platforms. So maybe you don't actually want to have your phone number there because you don't want other people who see your media kit to have access to your phone number. In that instance, I would change it to the @ of most of your social media. So in this instance, I'm going to put at Athena CLT. Feel free to put, your at. So if you are Layla, more than likely your at would be at Angelic Layla, for example. And then here, you can put your address, but again, if you're posting it online, you want to think about safety. You want to think of, the fact that, doxers do exist. So in this instance, I'm just going to put that I'm based in South Carolina. I'm just putting the state. If you want to be even more zoomed out, you could put Southeast, USA. Or if you want to be more zoomed in, you could put your city. So in that instance, I would put something like Rock Hill, South Carolina. But again, you want to make your media kit a little bit more general, but also you want to be safe. So you want to make sure that the information you're putting is something that you can post everywhere and feel comfortable with the fact that a lot of people may see your media kit, not just brands, but also just people who are online. And with that, that would go ahead and conclude the media kit. Again, I do want to apologize. I was also supposed to go over how to make a pricing sheet, and hopefully I can set up another one of these meetings to do that with you all. I hope that this was helpful genuinely. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I did mean for this to be collaborative. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more research as to what was going on with me using Discord. Things happen, as we all know, but I'm definitely going to try my best to make this a more common event. I know that it can be really hard for a lot of us to meet up. Some of us are in different time zones. Some of us have, different careers in different industries outside of content creation and gaming. So I know that this can be really difficult and quite the undertaking, but I do want to just let you all know that I'm fully committed to making this work, and I know that this definitely can. We have a really great group of women, of goddesses, of deities, and I am so very proud of all of you, and so I know that we can make this work. Thank you so much for your time if you did review it. And if you have any feedback, any questions, please feel free to let me know. And we'll do this again. All right. So you have a great evening, and thank you.